For the Batak ethnic group of Lake Toba in North Sumatra, as indeed with other communities in Indonesia, their meticulously hand-woven textiles, known as ulos, are not merely made to wear as clothing, but are significant symbols of status, serve as precious heirlooms, or are ceremonial gifts during rites in humans' life cycle from births and weddings to deaths. Traditionally, weaving was the task of women only, and men were prohibited from the work, since it is believed that while weaving, women imbue the cloth with symbolic values connected with women's role in caring for family, children and the community, whilst men's duty is the protection of family and village. Textiles are woven on backstrap or body tension looms, where tension is created by the weight of the seated weaver who leans against the backstrap. That is the reason why this type of hand-woven cloths can only be made as wide as the arm span of the weaver. With modernization, or the non-mechanized upright loom was introduced, cotton yarn is now also bought rather than made personally, and more synthetic colorings are used, purchased in stores to make the cheaper versions for use in modern designer dresses or for sale to tourists. Among the different kinds of ulos, the ulos sublang is the one most commonly used. This is the blue ulos with light blue patterns with arrowhead patterns. This ulos is used as sarong or shoulder shawl, known as selendang. The ulos ragi hodang or the spotted radan cloth is used at weddings when the ulos is draped around both bride and groom's shoulders with wishes that, like the radan, the marriage will be long-lasting with strong conjugal bonds. The ulos ragi hodang is also used at the birth of a baby boy. This ulos has usually a particularly beautifully designed broad edge, finished off with tassels. The ulos ragi hidap, or the pattern of life, on the other hand, is one that can be worn only by men or by their widows in special ceremonies. This beautiful ulos consists of a main red field, or bidon, with two white strips of finely decorated pieces at top and bottom ends. Two red side strips are then sewn onto the entire piece, making this a large ulos. Today, around Lake Tabu it is not easy to find women weaving in front of their houses. But, truly traditional ulos cloths are still made in the three villages of Tonging, Paropo and Silalai, known as Sitalu Huta means three villages, on the northwestern shore of Lake Tabu. However, trading areas are at Pematang Siantar or at Balaj. You can also easily find a large number of ulos sold in souvenir shops or handicraft stalls in Tamok or Tuktuk. Therefore, when buying an ulos, do feel the texture of the material. If this is too supple and smooth, then it is likely machine-made with synthetic dyes, whereas the original hand-woven pieces feel rougher to the touch. Of course, the original hand-woven ulos pieces do not come cheap. Therefore, weaving can be done only during leisure time while women tend to home and children. It is small wonder, then, that one cloth may take months to complete. Batak textiles use mostly cotton yarn, while colors are produced by immersing the yarn in plant dye. The blue color comes from the indigo plant, red is made from sapanwood and morinda which grow abundantly in the tropics. Yellow comes from turmeric, whereas black is produced by mixing morinda with indigo, and green is a mix of indigo and turmeric. Ulos is the traditional cloth of the Batak people of North Sumatra in Indonesia. Different kinds of ulos have different ceremonial significance. The ulos is normally worn draped over the shoulder or shoulders, or in weddings to ceremonially bind the bride and groom together. Ulos are traditionally hand-woven and in the case of higher quality examples are significant family heirlooms, to be worn at important events, such as funerals and weddings. With increasing modernization has come the decline in significance of the Ulos, with many varieties no longer in demand. History. According to the Batak people, there are three sources of warmth for humans: sun, fire, and Ulos. Why is Ulos a source of warmth? Ulos is said to be a source of warmth because they were living on cold mountains. This natural condition makes sunlight insufficient to give warmth, especially at night. Then, they created something that is able to give them warmth, also believed to be able to give the men bravery and the women strength against infertility. At first, Ulos was only used as an ordinary cloth, but it later developed to a symbol of love, traditional ceremony requirements, and society structural system symbol. Even today Ulos is believed to have magical religious power and is thus considered sacred and has special power to protect the user. There are many kinds and motifs of Ulos, which have their own respective meaning in accordance to the characteristic, condition, function, and some relation. When it is used, given to whom, and which traditional ceremony like wedding, birth, death and other rituals will never run without Ulos. If Ulos is used by a man, the upper part of it is called and the lower called Songket, the one used on the head called talai or bulang. But, because of its sacred value, not all Ulos can be used in daily activities. Ulos Juga, Sadam, Rajadup, and Ranjat are only used in some occasions. In everyday life, men wear Ulos in box pattern with black shirt named pajukurung without shoes nor sandals. Usage. When Ulos is used by a female, the bottom is called, the back is called hoba, and if it used as scarf it is called dampan. If used as head cover it is called sung, and if used to carry baby it is called parampa. In daily life, the females wear a black long dress and head cover. There are three ways to use Ulos. First, Sayabithon Nonton. The Ulos used for this are Rajadup, Sabalang, Runjat, Jabit, Simarinjamizi, and Ragi Panko. Second, Sihadang Hanonton, used as head cover. The Ulos used for this are Sirara, Sumbat, Bolium, Mainjairing, Zurijuri, and Sadam. Third, Sitalatlahanonton, tied at hip. Ulos used for this are Tumchuman, Mainjairing, and Padangrusa. Using Ulos in the right way is extremely important to make good looking and also to fulfill the philosophy meaning in Ulos. Ulos as love symbol is called Mangalosai. In Batak culture, Mangalosai, giving Ulos, is a symbol of love to the receiver. In Mangalosai, there are common rules. Mangalosai can only be done by people who have a family relation or to give it to lower social status people. For example, parents can Mangalosai their children, but not opposite. To Mangalosai a child who gives birth to their first child, the Ulos given is Rajadup Sinagak. Ulos given to a special guest is Ulos Rajadup Silingo. Production. Ulos is made with a manual loom machine. A spinner, soha, is used to make cotton into yards. Pemangong is used to tie yards. Pagab to hold the yard. Baliga, used to organize yards. Hatalungan is used to separate yards. Kamapan used to make the yard into cloth. Palabuan means perioctano is used to saving coloring water. Ulos made of cotton and the coloring water made of barks, grass, roots, mud or leaves. The most sacred textiles of the Batak people of northern Sumatra are the Rajadup, whose name literally means pattern of life. Both during and beyond an individual's life, Rajadup play central roles. Perhaps the most critical occurs when a woman is pregnant with her first child. At this time, her parents typically present her with a Rajadup. which becomes, as her Ulos knit onto your soul cloth, a supernaturally powerful object that will protect her and her family throughout life. During the rites, a specialist is called upon to read the cloth, whose complex patterns are believed to foretell the woman's future. A rajadup is also an essential element in Batak marriage rites, where it is wrapped around the mother of the groom by the father of the bride as a ceremonial gift. In death, the rajadup enshrouds the deceased and, years later, is used to wrap his or her bones when they are disinterred for ritual reburial. Rajadup are constructed from 5 components, 2 side panels joined to a larger central section consisting of a large panel in the middle and 2 end panels adorned with complex geometric designs executed in supplementary weft, a decorative technique in which additional crosswise threads are added to the textile during weaving. In each rajadup, one end panel is considered male and the other female, the gender being determined by the specific patterns used. The ornamentation of the central field varies, here consisting of a bold series of longitudinal stripes. Batak ritual cloth is Ulos rajadup. This Batak ritual cloth, or Ulos rajadup, was made in the 20th century in Sumatra, Indonesia out of cotton. The Batak people live in the highland of Sumatra, a large and relatively sparsely populated island of Indonesia. Nowadays mostly Christian with a Muslim minority, Batak artists incorporate elements of their indigenous religions into their ceremonial textiles. The Ulos rajadup is one of the most important of Batak textiles. Woven in 3 sections and sewn together lengthwise, the center panel is further comprised of 3 sections, an I-cut center and 2 ends decorated with fine weft patterns, while the side panels are solid dark brown within decorative borders. Songket is a fabric that belongs to the brocade family of textiles of the Malay world. Today, Indonesia, Malaysia, Brunei, Singapore and southern Thailand. It is hand-woven in silk or cotton, and intricately patterned with gold or silver threads. The metallic threads stand out against the background cloth to create a shimmering effect. In the weaving process, the metallic threads are inserted in between the silk or cotton weft, latitudinal, threads in a technique called supplementary weft weaving technique. Songket is traditionally considered an exquisite, luxurious and prestigious traditional fabric, only worn for special occasions, religious festivals, and traditional social functions. It has become a required garment for brides and grooms for their weddings, as in the traditional wedding costumes of Palembang, Minangkabau, and Bali. There are 2 categories of Songket weaving equipments, the main weaving equipment made from a wooden or bamboo frame, and the supporting equipment which includes thread stretching tool, motif making tool, thread inserting and picking tools. The materials for making a Songket consist of cotton or silk threads or other fibers as the base fabric and decoration threads made from golden, silver or silk threads. It is believed that in ancient times, real gold threads were used to create Songket. The cotton threads were on a long heated liquid gold, coating the cotton and creating gold thread. However, today, because the scarcity and the expensiveness of real gold threads, imitation gold or silver threads are commonly used instead. The Songket technique itself involves the insertion of decorative threads in between the wefts as they are woven into the warp, which is fixed to the loom. They are inserted as part of the weaving process, but not necessary in the making of the cloth. There are 4 types of supplementary weft weaving technique: continuous, discontinuous, inlaid and draped. Songket weaving is done in 2 stages, weaving the basic cloth with even or plain weaving and weaving the decoration inserted into basic cloth. This method is called inlay weaving system.